Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gutballs podcast. My name is Steve Trudeau. I am the host of this podcast. I'm joined by my two co-hosts today, Michael Almeida, Emmanuel Pacheco. Guys, how you doing?
Awesome.
Happy 4th.
Yes, happy 4th of July. We're recording this on the 4th. Well, we have another holiday coming up right now, or that just passed, right, Emmanuel? Canada Day?
Canada Day, yes. We celebrated in our homes in a pandemic lockdown, but yes.
So the first question that Mikey has and I have is, why the hell are you putting your holiday so close to ours? Get out of our turf.
No, the question is, why did you guys see that we were having so much fun on our holiday and then decide to do it 3 days later? This is the thing.
No. So I have a bunch of questions. Number one, what is I know on 4th of July, right, Steve? We have hamburgers and hot dogs. What's Canada's Day's choice of meal? What do you guys eat?
Beer. Yeah, beer. I did have pancakes. No, I didn't have pancakes that day. My son had pancakes that day. Pancakes and syrup. But
it's not like a breakfast thing?
Yeah, it's a breakfast thing. Beer, poutine, hot dogs, hamburgers, like the normal thing.
No. You're not allowed to steal hot dogs and hamburgers from our 4th of July.
That's ours, man.
Get your own. Now, what do you guys drink? Because you can't drink Coca-Cola there, because that's an American-made product. What is it, Canada Dry or whatever? It's very close to Canada.
Canadian Mist whiskey.
See, it's actually what you guys call beer is actually watered down. Okay, it's what? Oh my god!
What?
Guy.
Anna Noodles.
Thank you for completely derailing the show, Emmanuel. Hello, Anna Noodles. Good to see you. What do you drink?
Of something creative.
Yeah. Well, again, beer. I don't really drink any alcohol, but I do have my cider. So I do drink my cider only on the podcast. So apparently, you guys have made me an alcoholic. But we drink ciders and real beer, right? Because we drink real beer. That's pretty much the drink of Canada. That's pretty much it. Or coffee from Tim Hortons.
Is Canada Day your Independence Day? Sorry, Steve. I put up the damn finger.
You know what? It's funny because I think Canada Day because we're a British colony, right? So I think the origins of Canada Day. I should know this, but it's actually this year was very sad. We actually didn't really celebrate Canada Day. I don't know if you guys want me to bring it up and tell you.
I do, because I want to know what's going on. But before you get into that, man, you said poutine, and I will say this: the one thing that you Canadians have right is poutine. That's the shit, man. I love me some good poutine.
Oh, poutine is and again in Montreal, knowing Trudeau, you have roots in Quebec.
Yeah, so actually, we went up to Montreal couple of years ago, and we went to this poutine place that was well known. Maybe you can help me out, Emmanuel. But man, it had the best poutine ever. We had to wait outside in line in February now, because you know how cold Montreal is in February. Yeah. We waited for an hour to get into this poutine place, dude. It was completely worth it. The best food I've ever had. Do you have any idea what this place is called?
Yeah, the Poutinerie.
Was it the Poutinerie? I'm trying to Google it now.
I think that's what it's called. I think
it might have been La Banquise. La Banquise. Does that ring a bell?
It doesn't ring a bell, but the Poutinerie, there's actually famous last words here. I'll find it.
It's okay. But anyways, I'll have Mikey look it up or something. But you were saying what? So what? You don't know the origins of Canada Day at all, but you celebrate it.
I actually do know this because it's actually Confederation in 1867. So when the colonies got together, and you basically have the 4 separate colonies of Upper Canada and Lower Canada when they came together and formed actual Canada. It's Canadian Confederacy, the Confederation, right? That's really what it is. So it's not our independence from Britain, but it definitely is. Oh, look, somebody knows it.
La Banquise. Yeah, I told you that place is bomb, man. If you're ever in Montreal, hit that place up.
Yeah, it is. So that I do know of it, but again, I thought it was the Poutinerie, but I could be wrong. I think I am.
When you say the Confederacy of Canada, those are the good guys, right? Because we hear the Confederacy down here, it's those are bad guys.
So Canadian Confederation, so not Confederacy, but Confederation is when the colonies got together and said we're going to form Canada. That's basically what it was. Okay. And again, our English, our folks from England, we love Britain. We love the UK. We are a colony of the UK originally, and we became independent. So just a shout out to our English peeps. Okay.
So were you able to
Okay, now
celebrate
it's our
this year?
turn.
No, we weren't able to celebrate this year. We had half staff everywhere, and a lot of it is because of the there's been atrocities in the past for Indigenous people in Canada, and we weren't aware of how bad it really was. But basically, you have Indigenous people in Canada, so Canadian Indian, native tribes.
Habitants, right?
Yeah. They would basically the government and the Catholic Church would create these resident schools, and they would force the Indian parents to give the Indigenous parents to give their kids to this until they turned 18. So it was very, very bad. And apparently now they're starting covering a bunch of graves. There were tons of, just atrocities. We're now finding out over 1,000 unmarked graves that they found. And there's still more at some of these places out west in British Columbia and I think in the mid US. But we were half staff, and they're actually even deciding this year to not really celebrate Canada Day like it was normally. And I think everybody kind of did go. Go ahead, Trudeau.
No, I'm just saying, good on Canada for actually taking a second to acknowledge the atrocities. Like,
yeah,
in America, like we have Thanksgiving, and what we're told as kid is that like the Native Americans and Pilgrims sat down and had a big old turkey, and everyone was happy and hunky dory. And that's kind of what we're taught, and we already know like how things went down here. It wasn't pretty at all.
No, you think that Canada is this nice country where everybody is civil and stuff like that, but now everything is coming out, right, of what exactly was happening, and you've got a lot of things going on. But again, Canada Day now, it's a very somber time because all these now stories are coming out. These movies are coming out that's kind of documenting what actually went on. There's survivors of these resident schools are now speaking out. There's a bunch of other stuff that's going on. So again, Canada, I'm not very proud of being Canadian this year after finding all of that out. That's for sure.
And Mikey, you wanted to get in there before I just brought the mood down completely?
Yeah.
I just wanted. I know Emmanuel is kissing England's butt, but we don't like England. We number one. I like England, but beforehand for America, we do not like England, especially with the whole Hamilton vibe coming back.
Oh.
England, we beat you. It's just that simple. We were also just like you, colonies, and now we're the best country in the world, right, Steve? Would you consider us being the best country in the world?
No.
Who's the best country in the world? Steve, what's your top 3 countries?
My top 3 countries in no particular order or in a particular order?
I want one. Let's do 3 to 1.
This is gonna get me killed. People are gonna be so pissed at me. I'm gonna go with number 4 as well. Number 4 is United States.
Oh,
okay. Wow, that high.
Ouch. Where are we shipping Trudeau out to? Let's see. Mexico?
Wow. We'll find out very soon.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Japan.
Oh man.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Germany. And number 1, I'm gonna go with Canada, our friends in the north.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I think we won't be seeing Trudeau anymore. I know they had something next to his home, not too far, with 12 army people.
Were you here for that conversation, Emmanuel?
No, what was this?
So in Wakefield, Massachusetts, they pulled over 2 vans. I think it was late Friday night, like 3 a.m, and they were filled with like 11 people, like in army gear, like with like AR-15s and like all sorts of weaponry.
Oh my God, really?
And so basically, a cop drove down the highway and was like, "Oh, hey, there's 2 vans on the side of the highway. Let me just do a wellness check." And they pretty much told him like, "We don't abide by like the American laws. We have our own laws and all this nonsense."
Yeah.
But the sketchiest thing was like they were pulled over because they were filling up their own gas, like their gas tanks with like gas tanks that they brought themselves. So they were trying to avoid like gas stations. So they were on camera, and they were driving like to their destination at 3 a.m. So they were clearly like trying to avoid detection. And then they said like what they were doing was they were going up to Maine, which that is number 1 why I don't trust Maine, because there's a bunch of crazy people up there. But they were going up to Maine to like quote unquote train. So yeah. Also, spoiler alert, like this is gonna sound terrible, but when I heard the story at first, I was like, oh, I know exactly what type of people in this car. Like I assumed it was like shaved heads, big beard, like wraparound sunglasses, like don't tread on me, like white supremacists.
Yeah.
Nope, not that at all. It was like a bunch of like Hispanic and Black people. I was like, that is a shocker of the century because I did not see that coming. That seems like some white people shit with like all the guns like doing that.
I heard they were really just upset about the release of not freeing Britney. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And
I don't blame them then. If that's their if that's what they were going for, man, I'm with them. I'll storm up to Maine and train to free Britney.
That's what they were doing. That's Britney's breakout crew.
I don't think we have the copyright to that. So, Emmanuel, if they come after us, I'm sending them to Canada.
I only played it. It's fair use. I only played a few seconds to elaborate on Mikey, so it's fair use.
No. Let me text Jamie Spears to make sure he's okay with it, because that's the only person I need to make sure that it's okay with.
Okay, so, wait. Are we still going through the countries, the best countries, or are we just going with Canada number one? And then
I think Mikey did a seamless segue, and I think you have to respect that segue.
Fine, I'll respect it. Go.
Yeah, have you seen what happened this week there, Emmanuel?
For the Britney Spears? Yeah, she lost. Like she lost her fight, and that so there's obviously things going on in her life and her medical condition, her mental state that is causing them to not give it up, right? So so you know, again, we're not privy to all of that, so we don't know. But I just feel so bad for her, like a grown woman who has to still work, still make money for everybody else, and yet can't make any decisions on her life or finances.
Well, the biggest story is like before this week, it was kind of just like people speculating. We never heard from her. And then she was able to speak out this week a little bit and kind of say some of the things that have happened. And like, there was some shocking stuff. I think like the biggest one was like, she said she was not able to take out her IUD. Like they forbade her from doing so, which for those who don't know, it's like, I believe it stands for interuterary device. I'm butchering the name, but it's basically like birth control. So they like kind of forbade her from having another child if she wanted to, and I guess she may have wanted that. So it's some real sketchy stuff, man. Like she definitely has like zero control over her life right now.
No, like less than zero. They are actually, so if you have no control of your life and somebody's like keeping you in a dungeon, that's one thing, but they're making her work. So it's literally making her work to make the money and controlling her body, right? Like literally controlling her body and her health. So like it's worse. It's like way worse than putting yourself in them putting you in a prison or controlling you that way.
What an Independence Day we're talking about here, guys. Really talk about freedoms.
I mean, it's just kind of whack. I mean, so she even said she was cool with a conservatorship. Like she said she would accept one. Well, yes or no, but she definitely just wanted to have it out from her father. Like she said, I'll take someone else. Like just get me out of my dad's grasp. Like I don't like this at all. And that got denied. So that was like the bare minimum ask, and that still got denied, which is crazy.
Well, yeah, and I think she was willing to have somebody else manage her finances, which I can understand. If you're not great at finances, then I will definitely say, hey, somebody else do it for me. So it's a headache, and I don't want to get into legal trouble. No problem. But now it's way worse than that. And reality is, just because somebody else is managing it, the fact is that she doesn't want her father to do it. She just obviously doesn't trust her father, right? I think that's bottom line.
Well, I think even the shitty part too is, or maybe the shittiest part, is that they basically set it up so they chose when she's going to perform. They have her performing 5 days a week in Vegas before the shit residency.
Yeah.
And they get a cut of what she earns. Like it's a small cut, but still like it's 5% or something like that. Yeah. So they're just kind of forcing her out there, just taking cut of everything and not doing any work outside of just, quote unquote, managing her finances. So like if they actually really just cared about her well-being, fine, let her be in her conservatorship, but like respect her wishes and like let someone else do it. You know what I mean?
What happens if she doesn't work?
Wow.
She's tried that, right, Emmanuel?
Yeah, she did. So there was a show in Vegas, and I saw it where she was supposed to be announced. There was a big promotion for her residency, a bunch of stuff, and they announced her, and she literally walked out and then walked through, like past where the stage was that she had to go and talk, I guess, or announce, and then kept going and then left. And that apparently was a huge stink, and something happened because that was not supposed to happen. And that was in Vegas. And I know that a friend of mine was he was at the MGM, and he was telling me he was there, and he was saying that, it was like nobody knew what was happening. And they were just waiting there for like literally about 40 minutes, and nobody knew what was happening.
Yeah, I saw that on the documentary. I think we talked about this on one of our earlier episodes. Was it Framing Britney was the name of the New York Times documentary?
Is it Framing Britney?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And I think like one of the shocking things that, retrospect, you look back and kind of think about this is that, they considered like, oh, she's losing her mind and going crazy. But the documentary really highlighted the fact that she was really pushed by the media, paparazzi, the public, into like this state of just being tired of everyone in her business, and it kind of drove her crazy. And we look at her and said, why is she acting so erratic? But no one ever thought maybe we're kind of causing all this pain and chaos. So the media drove her into being this person who lashed out and shaved her head, and then they threw her in a conservatorship to help her, and now it seems like she's just trapped there. So we kind of forced her into this state, and now she's just stuck in it. So it's really unfair. I mean, at the very least, guys, like, respect the idea of just giving her a new conservator. Like, if you don't think she's stable enough to do it on her own, just let someone else do it so she doesn't feel like she's being robbed.
Yeah. Well, they won't even let her marry. Her boyfriend is very controlled as well in terms of what she can do with him, apparently, and stuff like that. So that's the other thing, is that she is trying to get married. She's trying to have a life, and they're not letting her do that because they know that, that she's gonna, they know that then they'll lose control.
What she said to the judge was she couldn't even get into the same car as her boyfriend. Like, her boyfriend can't even drive her around. It's really crazy. America,
she's
man.
39, man. She's 39. Like, that's midlife, and you're still just being trapped, from a decision or decisions you made 10 years ago. It's like a prison at this point. It's a sentence.
Yeah. Well,
Free Britney.
Worse
Free
than
Britney.
Free Britney. I agree. Free Britney.
Speaking of prison, Emmanuel, you said you wanted to talk about Bill Cosby?
I don't want to. Like, I just don't think it. I don't want to.
What is your?
I have a problem. I like to just torture everyone on this show. No one, you guys didn't want to talk about that.
On a happier note, let's talk about Bill Cosby. Well, again, he's not innocent. Okay, it's a technicality. I'm watching, a bunch of, and I love watching legal shows, lawyer shows, and it's all about how can I get through any technicality to basically get my client off. And that's literally, they just found whatever they could, an old, it was a promise that was made for with I guess one of the prosecutors, and then now it's come up and said, well, then they gave him that to not incriminate himself now, right? And then they said, well, we have to abide by that, so he should have never been tried for it. This is like absolutely bonkers. Like, I don't understand the justice system in the U.S. Like, I thought Canada's justice system was, man, but no, the U.S. there's something going on there.
It bums me out because, like, it makes me realize the justice system is kind of, if you can afford a good lawyer, you can do anything in America. Like, a justice system, like, rules don't really apply universally, because you can interpret rules differently or laws differently. As long as you have like a bomb lawyer legal team, you can figure out a way. Like,
money, right? It's money. It's, if you have money, you can hire the best lawyers to find ways around the law, right? To find every technicality that you can.
Especially in a sexual assault, because they try to turn it into like a he said, she said, and as long as you can, like, smear the person suing you or whatever, you smear them, you get good lawyers to kind of prove like it's a gray area, and they just let you off, which bums me out because, like, we talked about Sean Watson months ago, right? And that whole thing, like, now I'm starting to think to myself, I mean, he got accused by like 32 people, and he has all the money in the world to get the best attorneys, and the attorneys have already been out slandering people and making things muddy and gray. Yeah. I'm like, this dude's going to get away with it just because he has money, which is crazy.
Well, yeah, and again, I don't want to get into bail in the U.S., but like a whole other thing, right? I think in Canada, our legal system is at least it's a hint fairer. It's just you kind of do have to follow. And again, I've been around different legal proceedings for various reasons, not for me, but obviously helping others and figuring things out. And it's actually a pretty fair system. It's a pretty fair system. But I will say COVID really screwed up things in Canada.
Let's talk about some other American things that are not so negative. Let's try to be positive.
I was going to play the Cosby theme. Oh, come on.
Let's not.
No, you sure? You don't want to?
The judgment call on that is just terrible, Emmanuel.
Read the room. Read the room,
buddy.
Emmanuel.
But so more positive American things. Two things we're really good at, right? And I'll give Mikey the choice of where he wants to go. Number 1, being fat and eating. And number 2, baseball. So where do you want to go, Mikey?
Let's go with fat and eating for 100.
I love it. So obviously, those watching live know we're recording on the 4th of July in an American tradition like no other, the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. I watched that today, and it was as delightful as you would have thought. My man, Joey Chestnut, in 10 minutes. Any guesses how many hot dogs that man ate?
76.
Did you look that up before the show?
102. 102.
I just said 76. Is it 76?
That's amazing. He ate 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Well, because you talked about the chicken nuggets at 80. I was like, 80 hot dogs.
Excellent segue. So then it got me thinking, like, so that was the world record for hot dogs ate in a minute or 10 minutes, 76. Which, by the way, they have, this is the most bonkers thing about the broadcast. They have a HPM indicator, which is hot dogs per minute, and they track the rate of hot dog consumption. And he was averaging 8.5 hot dogs a minute, which is bananas. But it got me thinking, like, what are the other records as far as eating is concerned, and can we beat any of these records? So I was consulting with our friend Ton to see if he could try to beat any of these records. Hear me out. What do you think about this one? This is one I mentioned to the group. Chicken nuggets. Yeah. The world record for chicken nuggets is 80 nuggets in 5 minutes. Now I'm willing to crowdfund this for Ton to eat these live on the show to see if he can break the record. But do you think it's possible that he can do that?
I think it could be possible. It depends if you have sauce with it to let it go down easier and stuff like that.
It's like sending like a normal person to the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see how bad we are. You know
I don't think he'll get past like 30. Like 30, I think he'd tap out at 30.
That's 3 boxes, 3 10-packs.
That's a lot of chicken nuggets.
That's a lot.
I think I could beat one now that I think about it, because I always go through these so fast, and I get so sad at the end. Dunkaroos. I think I can eat.
Is there a world record for Dunkaroos?
I think I can eat.
Oh wow,
Dunkaroos. That's something I feel like I can do.
It currently is held by a 14-year-old.
Wait, really?
No, I don't know. But it's like, why would you want that?
Of course, Emmanuel would know about 14-year-olds.
If you get that world record, you are that's literally the analogy is you're the world's tallest midget. Like it doesn't matter.
Little person, Emmanuel. Little person.
Oh God.
So I got a couple other records. I have like the whole page in front of me, and I just want to like point out ones that may be beatable and also ones that are just disgusting.
Okay,
all right. So the most disgusting I've seen so far is for butter. The record for eating butter in 5 minutes. Someone ate 7 quarter-pound sticks of salted butter in 5 minutes. But just why? Just eating sticks of butter. Yeah. So we talked about the hot dogs, mayonnaise. Someone ate 4 32-ounce bowls of mayonnaise in 8 minutes.
That's gross.
I can just imagine afterwards, person coming out of the washroom. I am not cleaning that up.
Now, I think this one might be doable if you're high enough. Taco Bell tacos. We've all been there, right? We've all been there, like after a night of drinking, or like maybe you smoke a little, you go to the Taco Bell drive-thru. We've all been there. Someone ate. What's that, Manuel?
Hard or soft?
Soft. By the way, are you hard or soft shell? Team hard or soft?
Hard.
Really?
Yeah, hard shell.
I don't like the hard shell tacos.
It depends. It depends how greasy it is.
Well, because for me, as soon as you take one bite out of the hard shell taco, it just like explodes on you. And it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
But so the record for soft shell tacos in 10 minutes is 35 or 53. I'm sorry, I inverted the numbers.
Okay.
So that's pretty bad. Ice cream, Manuel. This one we might be able to get you to beat this one.
No, I couldn't do it. I'd get brain freeze.
The record's held by Cookie Jarvis, which I don't think that's a real name. But
Cookie Jarvis.
Mr. Cookie ate a gallon,
Mr.
1 gallon and 9 ounces of vanilla ice cream in 12 minutes.
Wow.
That seems doable though. If you
That
don't
was-
get brain freeze.
Yeah, that was my Friday night when I was depressed. Like, I don't know. No, I don't know. But you guys keep talking about these records, but you don't even know that you're one of us actually has a world record, and I'm not even joking. I'm
All right,
literally not even joking.
I want to hear about your world record because you mentioned it earlier, but one last one. This one blows my mind. Are you ready?
Okay.
Now I'm a big egg lover, so like this one I can kind of picture myself. Joey Chestnut. In 8 minutes. Can you guess how many hard-boiled eggs he ate?
102.
Mikey?
46.
141 hard-boiled eggs in 8 minutes.
I was closer.
That is disgusting.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
I got the 40s right.
Combined, you guys were right.
But professional eaters, they have techniques, right? Like, have you seen this Japanese lady that is a professional wiener eater? Like, she's actually.
Wait, Daniel,
Oh, yeah, tell me more about her.
Where did
Yeah.
you see this video of this Japanese lady eating wieners?
I think it was open last
wait.
week when all these things went off.
Did it
Wiener.
end with hub?
No. Okay, I will tell you who it is. Takura Kabayashi. Okay, she's a Japanese competitive eater. Okay, I'm not even kidding. So I'm gonna find. So here it is. I found it. Wait. Let me find it. Oh shit.
Are you just playing random sounds on the podcast now?
No. Okay, I'm gonna.
It sounds like you are.
I'm gonna mute it. But here. Okay, so here she is. Okay, I got her.
Okay.
Wait, that's not a girl. Isn't that a guy?
No. She's there. She's in the middle, right there. That's her.
And how many hot dogs did she eat?
I don't know how many, but we'll find out. 2003. This is her. But she's a competitor.
That is not a dude. No, that's a dude.
I love Emmanuel. Just like, we'll find out. Then we'll just watch this 8-minute video
Eater
to find out.
Chili and wieners, a whole bunch of other stuff. But she is. So it's completely true. And but again, there's a thing on her. There's this whole there was a documentary on her, and again, it's all about the moistness of the food. And if you make it wet or greasy, or you can get it down your throat, then you can eat, because you're just going to throw it up.
Emmanuel, you're saying the technique to taking as many wieners as possible is make it wet and just shove it down your throat?
Listen. I'm just saying.
I know what you just said, Emmanuel.
read the room, Emmanuel.
Guys, look, I'm not. No, I'm telling you. I'm just reading. Okay, but when I can talk, go.
So let me just wrap that up and just saying, we may not be number one in healthcare in America, but we are definitely number one at hot dog eating and wieners. So there you go. Number one, baby. Happy 4th of July. Emmanuel, you said you were a record holder. What were you talking about?
So I'm in a heated dispute right now. So I was a world record holder, and I'm about to go and win it back. So I've been a world record holder.
Wait. So you're not you're not a record holder.
I was.
You're second place. Second place. Second
and
place.
guess who it's against? So I'm up against
Wiener lady.
Harvard Orchestra. Harvard Orchestra has overtaken my my record by about a foot and a bit. Okay, so I actually have the record for the world's largest or longest conductor's baton, and I'm not even joking. Okay, so this is me presenting it to the conductor. This is back in 2010, and it's basically and we did get it. So we did actually get it, but then we lost it to the Harvard Orchestra. But I actually have it here. If you're not, I'm not even kidding. I actually have it here.
Emmanuel, I have a quick question. So before you gave us shit for saying that if we ate a bunch of Dunkaroos, it'd be like a 14-year-old, but yours is because you like a long shaft that you made yourself.
All about how moist it is. That's all I'm saying.
And how far you can fit it down your throat.
Exactly. But it is actually my record was 13 feet 1 inch. And the record right now, I think, is 14 feet or almost 15 feet. But we're going to beat it. So I'm actually working on it right now to go beat it. And then when lockdowns are done, we're going to go back into the into kind of a public domain to be able to go and showcase it in front of an orchestra and actually do something and then retain back the record.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
Number one, how do you make
Oh,
it
I have
bigger?
so many questions. I
How
thought
do you
that's
make it bigger?
well, again, so it's you make it you get some more wood, right? So Emmanuel has more wood,
You gotta
and
get wood.
and I gotta get wood, and then you extend it, or you basically
How do you extend it? Like you just gotta get excited. You gotta like rub it to
Well,
glue
listen,
the wood together.
it's all about how you. No, it's I have a commission that I have to make it so that it's an official, it's a weighted conductor's baton.
How much does your wood weigh? The stick.
I didn't weigh it yet because I'm not going for the world's heaviest conductor's baton, but
Just the longest.
I am a size 11 and a half shoe.
Trudeau, I think what we need to do is get the Harvard conducting team, whoever we have to speak to, and get them on the show to argue with Emmanuel. I think that would be an amazing show.
That would be an amazing show, but it's the Harvard Orchestra, and they basically did have, but it's not even as good as mine. But we almost lost to Denmark, who had this stupid marching band or this stupid band that they put this fake conductor's baton that they made out of paper mache, and they thought that they would have that, and that was like 18 feet long. That didn't win. So I was very nervous about that one.
So that was my first question. My second question is why though?
Yeah, it just came about, and he said, "Well, this is a record I could win." Like you're talking to somebody. I'm talking to somebody that literally just came off of talking about, "Oh, I think I could shove 138 chicken nuggets down my gullet."
It was 80, and I'm trying to get Ton to do it.
Yeah. I think I could do it. I think so. You're talking about like it just happens. You just go and you do it, and then you look back and you say, "Hey, I could actually make this a record."
See, Ton's not going to listen, but like I want him to do it because if he breaks, that'd be fantastic. But if not, it would be hilarious watching him try to just eat chicken nuggets in the podcast.
On air.
That's the point. Yeah,
we would have 2 world record holders.
Emmanuel,
so left out.
Emmanuel, what I'm asking you, I'd rather not hold that, by the way. But what do you get? What do you get for winning one? Like, do they set
bragging rights? You get to talk about it on your podcast. Like
bragging rights.
First prize.
Oh
first
man, that sounds fantastic.
Totally worth it. I'm glad we had that.
But it's totally true.
I believe you. Next time you have to get your rod on the podcast, but it might not be safe for
rod. I'll get my rod.
So outside of the one thing we're good at, and that's eating food in America. Number 2, baseball. So Mikey, this I believe it was June 1st, right? So that was what, Friday, Thursday,
July. Right? July.
No,
1st.
June 1st it's June 1st. It's Bobby Bonilla Day, right?
No, July 1st.
No, it just happened, buddy. It's okay. June 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day. I know that for a fact. I'll double check when you're explaining, but can you explain to the audience what Bobby Bonilla Day is?
All right. Bobby Bonilla is a player who played for the Mets back in the early 2000s. And what happened with him was the Mets owed him $5.9 million left on his contract. And the Mets thought, hey, why don't instead we pay you up front this 5.9, we're going to pay you over time and give you 8% interest. Because the Wilpons, who owned the Mets at the time, had this fantastic investor that was killing it for them, named Bernie Madoff.
By
the way, I'm an asshole. You were right. July 1st.
So I was like, June 1st, Trudeau.
For some reason, I thought we were still in June. I know what happened this Thursday, but I'm all confused on like what month it is.
We're gonna play a fun game later on in the show, giving Trudeau some dates and see if he can figure out which one it is. Anyway, so what everybody knows what happened with Bernie Madoff. He was running a Ponzi scheme and is no longer with us, but he went to jail for a long time, blew a lot of people's money. Very sad story. And the Mets were stuck with paying this contract. So the Mets now have to pay this till Bobby Bonilla is 72 years old, which right now the longest contract is, I believe, one of the longest contracts is Bryce Harper's contract, which has 13 years left on it. And the Mets will still be paying Bobby Bonilla 1.2 million every year until 2035, which is crazy. So
yeah, my mistake was I thought at first it was without interest, so it was just like a flat rate. So I thought he was just getting killed by inflation every year. but he's getting interest, right, on that?
Yep, he's getting 8%, which is nutty, and he's just banking. He could pay for Ton to eat a bunch of chicken nuggets. He's probably at home thinking about stupid world records that he wants to win to and building a stupid stick that's bigger than Manuel's as well.
Could I extend Emmanuel's wood? I don't know. What should that cost?
So,
but yeah, he took that contract out of fear, is what I heard in the podcast. He was on it talking about Bobby Bonilla Day, and basically like he grew up with like very little money, got very poor. And he just saw a lot of professional athletes going broke. Like back in the 90s, guys would just like blow their money like crazy and just end up broke because they had no financial plan. And he was just so afraid of, ending up as like this joke of an athlete who blew all his money. And he decided to take the contract over. How many years was it, Mike? Something like 40, 50.
Yeah, it's something crazy. I'm not sure. I don't have it up on.
Right. But he's getting paid till he's like 70. So basically, he has no worries of ever going broke because he's going to get that $1 million paycheck every year.
It's crazy to think because, having that, he's a millionaire every year. He could literally spend all of his money and it's Groundhog's Day, but a much better. Imagine that, Trudeau. What would you do, Trudeau? What would you do if every year you were getting $1 million?
I would just chill on a beach, man. I don't know. I couldn't even fathom it. Just 1 year, $1 million, I'd be pumped.
Well, listen, what did our famous Canadian athletes do? The most famous of them all? Tim Horton.
Crosby? I don't know.
Tim Horton. Basically, Tim Horton was a hockey player, and he took his money that he had, and he invested it in a coffee shop.
Wait, really? Is that how Tim Horton started?
100%. Tim Horton is a hockey player. And he didn't want to blow his money, and that was the investment advice that he got from somebody. And he bought a coffee shop, and then from that he franchised it, and he became a billionaire. Canadian.
I wonder what athlete started Dunkin' Donuts, Mr. Duncan.
That
was a bad joke. I'm sorry. So, Mikey, before we move off baseball, I figure I give you the open floor because we haven't talked baseball in a while. Is there anything you want to just go into that's interested you so far?
No, I want to get into the NCAA and the Olympic rules next.
All right.
I want to keep the USA and freedoms going on this beautiful 4th of July we're having together.
All right, go for it, man.
No, you start. You have the plan.
I love how you're like, I want to get into this. You do it. All right, so we can start. We'll start with the NCAA stuff because I found that pretty interesting. Yeah. And Emmanuel might not be familiar with it, so I'll just kind of give you the rundown, Emmanuel.
Yeah, I kind of know a bit about it.
All right, so I'll just for the audience if they're unfamiliar with what happens with that. So basically, if you've watched have you watched the South Park episode with the NCAA? Anyone? No. Well, it's a joke where Cartman goes into one of I'm gonna get it killed for this one, but Cartman starts the Crack Baby Athletic League, and yeah, it's a terrible episode, like as in like bad. Well, it's good, but it's bad. And he goes to one of the NCAA schools and says, "Hey, how do you keep your slaves from getting paid? I don't want to pay my babies." And they're like, they're not slaves, they're student athletes. And he goes, "Right. How do you keep your student athletes, wink, wink, from getting paid?" Right. And that's kind of the NCAA mantra is like, they're student athletes. They are amateurs. We'll give them an education. They don't deserve to get paid. Right. So the idea is like, you can't get paid from the university, and whatever, like the argument against that is it's hard to tell who do you pay what amount of money? Like, do you give the star quarterback more money than the third stringer? Do you give the swimmer less money than the baseball player? Yada, yada, yada. Which, whatever. I don't want to get into that argument. But they also had rules forbidding them from receiving money from outside the university. So, like, if a car dealership wants them to, like, be in a commercial, that's a no-no. You can't accept money from anybody. And that got Reggie Bush. Mikey posted about that earlier in the week where Reggie Bush lost his Heisman and USC lost a lot of wins because Reggie Bush accepted I believe he got like a house rent-free and some things like that. And basically his mom like couldn't see any of the games or whatnot. And like he got the house rent-free so his parents could like stay nearby and like see him play games. So it was like for a good reason. And basically, he lost his trophy and everything because they found that he was accepting money outside the rules. Manuel, do you have something real quick?
Well, I heard a story. You tell me if this is true. This is maybe an urban legend, but players were actually, there was a player that got a free Subway sub, and somebody said, "Oh, I'll give you." Did they get penalized for that? I'm just trying to see if
I don't know that exact story, but there's been some ridiculous shit in the past for sure. But let me land the plane with the story. So basically, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled, I think it was unanimous, or maybe there was one no, but it was pretty one-sided that it's unethical, or not unethical because they don't do ethics, but they said it's unconstitutional to forbade the players from earning money from endorsements or whatnot. So they basically said the NCAA can't do that. And then on top of that, a bunch of states said it was okay. Basically, the whole system collapsed this past week, and then NCAA said, whatever, you guys can earn money outside of athletics. We don't care. So that's been the groundbreaking ruling, and it's the name, image, and likeness ruling. So basically, they can earn money based on their name, image, or likeness. So do endorsements or what have you.
Yeah, completely agree. I think like it's way too long. Like again, so my kids are in the entertainment space where their likeness is used all the time. And you think you're on TV, you're famous, you get paid. You don't get paid shit. I'll give you an example. World of Dance, when we were on the show, I can say this now, it's over 3 years. But basically, they were stopped from being, you don't get paid anything. So the whole thing was that because you had a prize at the end, or you could potentially get $1 million or something like that, they didn't pay anything for any of the work that you did for 3 years. And then at the end of it, if they use your likeness from now to infinity, you can't monetize it on YouTube, can't do anything. And we have like a video right now that's 21 million views, and it keeps climbing about 500,000 every month or two. And we can't monetize it. And it's all us. So I don't know. I just think it's about time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of common sense, right?
Yep. Well, it's like, okay, so me and Trudeau, we live next to a really talented school in the ACC called Boston College. Boston College plays the best basketball teams in the men's and the women's league, like North Carolina, Duke. Good, they don't play Gonzaga. But what happens is they charge unbelievable amounts for those games for normal people like me and Steve, because we're not students, to go to those games. And who pockets that money? The school does. The NCAA does. Give it back to the talent. It's just that simple. And if you're going to have tons of viewerships on, I know for football, it's crazy. Every Saturday, it's on every single channel. All these bowl games at the end of the season. Pay these guys. Pay these women. They deserve it. They're the ones. They're the talent.
What's the argument against it, though? Is it a slippery slope where now it'll make athletes be athletes or want to go and play because because they're going to make money as opposed to playing the sport?
So the argument against like the universities physically paying the players is kind of a silly one, but it's like, we don't know, like how are you going to pay them out fairly, right? Because not every athlete generates the same revenue, which it's true.
Wait.
Like,
whoa. How are we going to pay them out fairly? So let's not pay them anyway. Well, we can't be fair. So let's just pay them zero. That's
the argument's like,
okay,
it's a flawed system. So like, why would we even like entertain the idea? And then secondarily to that, it's, they're amateurs and they're students. So we want them focusing on school and not this outside money, which give me a break. Okay. I know for a fact that there are plenty of Division I football players who can read at like a 6th grade reading level, because they're not there to play school. They're there to play football. So there's plenty of athletes there for the athlete portion and not student portion. So just let them, whatever, man, let them get money. I mean, this is a starting point of like the name, image, and likeness thing, because they can go out on their own and make money, and they're going to make money. Let me tell you that. There was already a gymnast. I don't know her name. I'm looking it up now. I'm having a tough time. It might be no, that's not the name. I'm looking it up. Some gymnast got like $1 million endorsement deal over this week. So like there is money to be had for these athletes. Why not, man? Like it's already tough enough being a student athlete. Like you're going to classes for 4 hours a day. You're training 6 hours a day. You don't have time for a job on the side. Just let them earn a few bucks.
Hey, Joe Rogan, this is your chance, buddy. This is your chance. Screw MMA. Make your own schools. Get 6 schools together. Get the best talent. Let them make money. There you go. Get some people to back you up like Floyd Money Mayweather, Cristiano Ronaldo, Elon Musk, all those guys. Get Trudeau with a bunch of his coins, and you guys can start your own school. There you go.
Joe Rogan is a clown, bozo. I don't want anything to do with that guy.
Are you the guy that flew the banner over the beach? Did you hear about this?
No, I'll listen though. Oh, by the way,
it was like a proposal. It was like a wedding ceremony, whatever. And then the last thing that they wrote was Joe Rogan is a bozo or something like that.
No, they wrote. I remember. I know what you're talking about now. They wrote. It was Joe Rogan is a joke. I think about Joe Rogan is 5'5" or something.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Yeah. It was so funny.
Which is true. It makes sense now why he's so angry. He's just a little guy. He's got so much anger pent up. I don't know. But it was the gymnast was the LSU gymnast name was Olivia Dunn, and she is looking at potentially $1 million deal after this name, image, and likeness agreement. I think we can all agree. Like, there's not a lot of nuance. It's like good for them. Like, it's about time. Eventually, they will potentially pay the athletes, the schools. I think there's a lot of hurdles, and I think the biggest hurdle is that it's in everyone's best interest not to pay them. Like the people with money.
Yeah. Imagine you're a professor and kid comes into class. I make more than you. Stop talking to me. I walks out.
That's a bigger problem. Educators get paid shit.
Yeah, as a professor, I can see him parking his Vespa in his parking spot. Meanwhile, the student parks his Lambo next to him.
Oh man, that's gonna be really fun to watch.
It's fun. I like it. I think we agree. We all agree, right? I think that's great.
Yeah. So speaking.
Sorry, I'm late on.
I hate those sound effects sometimes. The timing, it's just poor timing.
I know
it's okay.
Because the later we go, my drink
the more
gets
cider you drink.
I get a little bit slow.
He's got those ice cubes.
I tell you, I have to buy those. Wait! I have an update on ice cubes, and I have an update on.
Oh my goodness!
You guys want an update on?
No,
tell me about your ice cubes. Go ahead. I don't care.
Well, no, I'm telling you, I swear by them now. So there is absolutely 100% Amazon. You go buy the silicone ice cube makers, and Trudeau, try it. It's like I think it's like $2 in the US to buy it. Go make yourself some round ice cubes. It keeps it cold. And the reality is that it doesn't water it down. It does not water it down. So again, Mikey, do you like to chew your ice cubes?
No, I just leave them in the glass.
I think Trudeau likes to chew his ice cubes, but I'm telling you, it keeps it cold. And I absolutely love it. And I swear by it. Now, we did get the smaller ice cubes, the round ones. They're not the same. So these are the ones you have to get. You have to get the round ones that are big, like about an inch long. I wasn't objecting so much about the ice cube take is just Amazon Jeff Bezos, another one on my anti-person list. My list goes like this. Number 1, Elon Musk. Number 2, Joe Rogan. Number 3, Jeff Bezos. Those 3 can go to hell. Wait,
don't you hate the whole Disney thing too?
Wait, go ahead, Mikey.
Doesn't he hate all of Disney too? Or am I thinking the other people that we had on last week?
No, those are the Scottish people. They hated Disney.
The Scottish people. But Trudeau, why is Elon Musk on there? You're not going to space anytime soon. You're not driving you're definitely not driving an electric car. You're going to get an F-150 and drive one with making sure that it's using as much gas as possible. Why do you care about Elon Musk?
He's an asshole.
Why? Oh, is he affecting your Bitcoin investment? Is that why?
He affects every investment. He's like tweeting about his stock, trying to tank his stock and manipulate stock. This is my problem with Elon Musk. Tesla is a great idea. I love the electric cars and all that stuff. But here's the problem with anything in life, Emmanuel. There are plenty of people who are against these type of progressive ideas.
Of course.
And when the messenger is Elon Musk, you're just taking a good idea and you're giving it to the worst messenger and just tanking everything.
Trudeau, you're just letting him get ready for one of those things that you don't like when he puts on the show. He's gonna put the angry elf one on. You're an
Yeah, please don't do that. But you know what I mean? Like if there's a good idea and the messenger is an asshole, then you take the message and the good idea and just ruin it completely.
But wait a minute. Okay, he's an asshole because he speaks his mind. He has no filter, right? Like he is a true genius.
No, but he's out for himself. He's 100% out for himself. He doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself. Do you see the way he treats his employees?
Yeah, I know. My son worked at Tesla for 2.5 years, and I know it's a business, and he's an automaton, like he's a robot. But he is a genius of our time. I'm not saying that's good or bad. There's a lot of people that were very smart that are really, really shitty people to be with. But he doesn't know how to deal socially.
Why is he a genius though? Why is he a genius? Because he's like eccentric. They're like, oh, he's a genius. Let me just put it this way. If someone that was on the side of the street living on newspaper acted the way Elon Musk acted, they would say he's a crazy person. But because he owns a business and he looks like he has a lot of money, oh, he's a genius. He's eccentric. No. The guy's just an asshole, and they think because he has a successful business that he's some sort of eccentric genius brainchild. But the bottom line is he's an asshole.
So it wasn't successful at first, right? Like let's go back, right? I read his autobiography, whatever, and the Elon Musk story. And the reality is everything that he's aiming at and trying to build, he has a reason for it, right? Like again, a lot of it with SpaceX and what he's trying to do to get to Mars, he knew right away that we will never be able to do that unless we have electric vehicles and our battery technology is better. So he started an electric car company. It's like, but the guy he went he was literally a week away from being bankrupt when 3 of his rocket ships blew up. He only had enough to do 3, but they scrounged up enough of his personal wealth to do the 4th, and it was successful. And then, this could have been a non-story where Elon Musk would have fizzled away and then, nothing, but he invented PayPal. He went and invented, he has like 80, 90, 100 companies, I don't know, under him. And those are the ones that we know about, all the other ones that he's involved in. He is a true genius in our time. You can't compare him to any other business person, like even Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a marketer and he was a bully. Right. But yeah, Apple products. I love Apple products. They're great. He was a genius for that. But he was a marketer. He wasn't a physicist and he wasn't a scientist. Go ahead, Mikey.
Trudeau, who are some people besides me and Emmanuel? Well, I know me, not so much Emmanuel.
Why?
Who do you like, Emmanuel? Trudeau. Let's hear top 4.
I feel like I come off as a negative Nancy in this podcast.
4 people
in business.
4. Yes, 4 people that aren't like, it's not Emily or McKinley. Well, you don't really like McKinley. I'm just kidding. Give us 4 people you actually like, because we talk about how many people you don't like, right?
I know the list of small people I like. The one person that I can think of the top of my head that I respect as a business person, is Bill Gates.
Really?
Okay, so that number 4, number 1. I'm writing it down.
I don't, dude. I honestly, I'm trying to think. Like I'm drawing blank. What do you object with Bill Gates?
Bill Gates, yeah, 100%. Do you know that that guy is not a good guy. Like that guy is not a good guy. He steals, he cheats.
Elaborate, because I'm pretty sure.
Look at him and Apple and the fight that he had, and he tried to steal a bunch of business to try to shut down Apple if he could, and he did. And what's happening with his foundation now?
So he tried to steal a business. That makes him a bad guy.
Well, yeah, because he was doing it. And again, the story of
Elon Musk is manipulating the stock and crypto markets, 100%. And he's okay by you.
Bill Gates,
Bill Gates, like most of his, when he dies, most of his wealth is going to charity, but he's the bad guy.
Guys,
he tried to steal some business from Apple.
Guys, I feel like the guy from Dumb and Dumber. I feel like the guy from Dumb and Dumber, the guy in the middle. Like, guys.
Now I know Emmanuel has a big staff
in the world.
All right, listen. It's all about how you view it. Some people hate Harry Potter and some people love Lord Voldemort. It just happens.
Wait, I just have one thing to say.
Oh, that's true. Mark Cuban?
Yeah. Mark Cuban? Mark Cuban's a scumbag.
Yeah, scumbag.
Oh, he does like Mark Cuban.
Do you know what his business, like, do you know the sexual harassment in his business and he let go by? That dude doesn't give a shit about workplace culture. I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah, that's fine. But again,
Mark Cuban, not a good guy.
They're smart, but they're evil people. Okay.
Can we be honest though? Like, I don't like, this is me being cynical asshole Steve as usual.
Okay.
But to get to the top where these people are, like, you're going to have to be in, like, to be like billionaires. Like, we're talking about billionaire wealthy, right?
Okay.
Like, you're probably a bad person dead ass. Because you know what you have to do to get that much money, to like accumulate that much wealth? You have to do some effed up crap to like accumulate that much wealth. You have to do some shady business practices. You probably have to not care about your employees. It's all about the return on investment. Like a lot of these people with all this wealth, man, they're not probably great people that you want to have a holiday with.
Okay, I have one. So what about Warren Buffett?
I don't like Warren Buffett.
Okay, is he an evil guy?
I only dislike Warren Buffett because he's so anti-crypto and he's just an old timer stuck in his way.
Oh, wait. Let's go through. He doesn't meet your criteria. He doesn't tweet. He lives in a nice little home, right? Like he doesn't flaunt his wealth. You know, nice guy. He speaks his mind. He has a partner that he's been loyal to, and his employees do like him. He meets all. It's just that he doesn't help.
I also don't like his business. Isn't he like an investment firm? He owns
he owns Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
Now, okay. First off,
why is this episode become the Who Does Steve Hate? And let's just bully him.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you bring up Bill Cosby. We tell you not to. All right,
that's fair. That's fair.
Trudeau. Let's say so. Warren Buffett isn't. He thinks that if you're going to do crypto, you have to do your research. You're actually thinking of Charlie Munger, his partner, hates crypto. Absolutely hates crypto.
No. Warren Buffett's come out and been like, this is a sham and like it's all fake. Blah 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 blah.
No. He says there's no value in it, intrinsic value. He sees value in Dairy Queen. He sees value in Coca-Cola. He sees value in things that are of his age. He's
old though, man. He doesn't see the future.
There's what is it, $100 million that they make a minute or a day or an hour or whatever, like Coca-Cola. So he sees that and he says, well, I can just multiply it. Like he's just a statistician, right? Like both him and Munger are statisticians, right? But they look at Bitcoin and they look at crypto and they say there's no intrinsic value in it. Like I can't relay it back to Coke bottles.
Yeah, but that's like the founder of just give me 1 second. Like the founder of the encyclopedia saying there's no value in the internet. Like he is invested in the way things were and the way things are now. He's not invested in the future.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's 100% true.
So like how would he see value in something that's of the future when his whole livelihood's invested in the past?
Yeah, but he builds it as a foundational piece that then will build wealth for the future.
Someone on the Reddit's asking about Bill Cosby on the podcast. You guys want to give your opinions? I know Manuel was saying.
I thought we were done.
Manuel was like, "Forget Free Britney. Let's talk about Bill Cosby."
You know what? Like, we shouldn't give him any type of airtime.
No, he's a clown.
I'm just throwing it back to you because you guys have been assholes to me about the whole thing.
I have Reddit up here too. So Steve, it says on my Reddit.
This is a lie.
Who do you like? You only give us Bill Gates. I want to hear 2 more. Come on.
How about this? We'll come back next week and I'll give you the top 5 people I like.
Think about it.
Because I have to think about it. I can't do this off the top of my head because you know me, I hate everybody, so it's tough.
But there's not one person like you respect and like look up to.
Emmanuel Pacheco.
Oh yeah. That's just because I have a world record.
Exactly. Trudeau's downstairs making his
staff.
Biggest staff.
Trudeau's making his longest staff that he possibly do downstairs.
I want to see that one.
I bet you do.
Trudeau's the world's longest toothpick.
Oh man.
Do you guys want to get into the Sha'Carri Richardson story before we get the D&D update? Or
no, I want to go into D&D.
Okay, so we'll
go right into it.
Can we just say that whole Sha'Carri Richardson thing, the Olympian who was kicked out of the Olympics for smoking weed, like that's some dumb shit, man. What the hell?
It is.
Listen, I'm not a Ball family person. I don't believe in LeVar Ball, but I did like LaMelo's tweet last night. If it ain't crack, let her run track, baby.
Yeah. Dude, that was a terrible tweet. That was a terrible
That's not a good quote. Okay, there's history.
It rhymed though, so I guess it's okay. But
okay, what happened in the last Japan Olympics? It's a similar story. Okay, a Canadian snowboarder, Ross Rabagalati, right? I think he was the snowboarder that walked by in a party and somebody was.
You're making that name up.
Yeah.
Amanda,
you're falling into Trudeau's trap. When he doesn't want to talk about something, he says it, and you just go on.
I know.
That's why he loves you. You fall right into his trap.
He won gold in snowboarding. He's a Canadian that won in the 1998 Winter Olympics for Nagano in Japan. And he basically was, he got his gold medal stripped, okay, for having marijuana in his system. Now, what happened? A few days later, they reinstated the medal because he fought and saying, well, I basically was at a party and people were smoking it around me, so I couldn't really stop it, right? And I inhaled it, okay? That's what he said. Now, he got away with it, right? He got away with it. He said, I got past it. So, like, how can you, okay, how many states in the U.S. Is marijuana legal in?
I think like 14 or something.
Is it? It's close to 20, I think, or 18 or whatever, right? Now,
Sure.
Does that take precedence over the world stage where America thinks that, well, because we have, part of our, it's legal here in some states, then we should have it on the world stage? Like, I think that's also U.S. kind of thinking that, that they own the Olympics or that they should follow the American rules, right? And it's not American rules, right? It's world rules, right? For the World Olympics, right?
No, I think she was banned by the American.
So that's
Olympics,
what it was.
The American IOC.
So she was. So it was an American for the rules. For the American.
They said because it's like still federally illegal, which is the dumbest shit ever. Can we just smoke weed already?
How did
I can smoke weed.
Team make it?
What's that?
How did our basketball team make it with? I feel like they're open to talking about that they smoke weed all the time.
Yeah.
Same thing with baseball. Cody Bellinger's high every single game. Have you seen Cody Bellinger?
Do you got anything else in this, Emmanuel? Because I'm actually Googling most successful business people to get the list now for you. If you can filibuster for another 2 minutes, I got you with this list.
Okay.
Trudeau,
I'll fight you on
Trudeau, look up Marcus Lemonis. He's great.
Oh yeah.
All right, that doesn't help me though. Can you just give me like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Wait, so that means you talk.
You guys have to talk.
Yeah.
Give me 2 minutes.
Emmanuel. He wants us to talk about. Give us the D&D update.
You want the D&D?
While Trudeau comes up with his list.
I came up with this amazing thing. So I was driving by this morning. We were on a date with my wife. We were able to go to a patio.
Wait. You just said we were on a date with our wife.
I was there.
With my wife. We were on it together. Let's be clear, okay?
Okay, got that part. It was getting
grammar
spicy.
Grammar Nazi. Jesus Christ.
Trudeau tells me every show that I say a word wrong or something like that. Don't get on me, the grammar Nazi.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we're trying to figure out, and I do think that we're probably going to be doing our own dungeon mastering, because I think finding somebody else that's not part of our clique that is probably a weirdo dungeon master is not going to work for us, right? So I'm going down the path. So I have a storyline. I have a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to figure out who's going to be the dungeon master. I started going down this path. But you know what I found over the weekend? We were driving by and I found this. And a lot of people are into this, called Warhammer, which is a modern day version of Dungeons and Dragons. Okay.
Isn't this like a real video game though, or some shit?
No, it isn't. It's more of a board game. But look at this. Now I found, but you know what they do have? They have sports themes for some reason. So I know it's awesome. But look, you have fantasy. Look, you have fantasy ones. So you can do Dungeons and Dragons and be like elves and all these things, but you can do that. You can be a sci-fi one, right? So you can be like sci-fi and all this other crap. So you can like do sci-fi stuff. Or I found the one that I'm showing you, which is the Blood Bowl. And apparently this is a big game where you play, you are literally playing on the board game, where you're playing with characters. But the thing is that when you foul, you friggin' like you can literally knock a guy's head off and kill him. So it's literally Trudeau's fantasy league where you literally, if you win, you literally decimate, and I mean kill the opponents. So, but it plays like Dungeons and Dragons, and I think that we might be able to do this. I think we can pull it off.
Wait, so let's rewind a little bit. So you said me and Trudeau books, right? Yeah. Pretty much, teeter around the restraining order line, and me and Trudeau take our personal time to read these books. And now you're telling us you won't play that game.
No, we can still do it. But the thing is that those characters, we can use those to play in the Blood Bowl. See that? You can have an actual game, and it's with dice, And it's similar type of thing. And again, we can do the Blood Bowl. I'm just saying it's a sports themed type of adventure, but you can also do adventures which are in a dungeon, in a castle, up a mountain, going through, like, there's lots of things that you can do, right? I'm just saying that I came across as Warhammer, and apparently it's a big deal. Anybody online that knows about this, apparently it's a big deal. But it's very similar to Dungeons and Dragons, but it's more modern. And the other thing is that it's more about the little characters. Look, see? You buy these little things, or you make them, and then you paint them, and they become your character.
Ew.
All right, I just want to apologize to the audience because me looking up these business people caused you to learn about this Blood Bowl, which no one wanted to hear about at all.
Oh, come on.
But I have my list now of the top 5 business people for me. Do you have any like sounds for like fanfare when I go down this list?
Yeah.
I hear your sound.
Tell me. Whoops, that's the wrong one.
That's not a good sound.
That's not the right one.
Like a celebration.
So there's a celebration. Let's see.
Some sort of.
That's the celebration one.
I'll go with that. So after I name it off, hit me with the celebration, okay?
Sure.
All right. So my top 5 business people that I respect in order. Number 5, Steve Ballmer.
Oh no, asshole!
Can you give me the percenter?
Asshole.
Yeah, but
I'm just giving him that number 5 because I like when he goes crazy at the sides of the Clippers games.
wasn't he like grabbing 2 guys' legs? I don't understand that whole thing.
I don't know, man. That guy is crazy, and I like his crazy attitude.
He is
tapped.
absolutely insane.
Have you seen him when the Microsoft release thing?
That party.
Yeah, man, he's amazing.
He's
All
a
right.
part of the clique, the Bill Gates clique. Go
Are
ahead.
you ready?
Yeah.
Number 4, gonna go with Richard Branson.
Yeah. Okay. Richard Branson.
Yeah, he's legit.
I don't know anything about him. I know he has Virgin Mobile, but he looks cool, so he gets number 4 spot.
There's a history on Richard Branson, and again, he came from nothing, and he's dyslexic, right? So he's truly dyslexic. So he there's a great story. I read his autobiography.
Better than Elon Musk. Better than
I agree.
Bezos.
I think he's in trouble now, right? Because his businesses are in trouble now because of the pandemic, and they didn't diversify enough to deal with the pandemic. But
all right, number 3. This is just because I like him on Shark Tank. He seems like a very nice fellow. I don't know anything else about him, but Robert Herjavec.
Canadian. He's Canadian.
No, I think he's Russian.
No, he's Canadian.
He's Canadian.
He's
He
Canadian.
seems like a really nice. He's the one shark that's always nice to everybody. You know, he's like, I like your idea, but it's not for me. But you're a good person, so. And I'm like,
Lori
that's a
Garnier's
nice
always
guy.
nice. Lori Garnier's
Oh,
always
I don't
nice.
know about Lori. She seems like a shark, man. She seems
I don't like
she's out to
Lori.
kill someone.
I like Mark Cuban. But anyway, yeah, no, he's a good one too.
Number 3. That's number 3. Number 2, William Gates. Bill Gates.
Oh,
New number 1. So I wanted someone different that you guys can't thumbs down.
okay.
Shaquille O'Neal.
If you thumbs down this person, you're both your asshole.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Unless his mother
Oprah
Teresa.
Winfrey. Oprah, number 1. What you got about that? You gonna talk shit about Oprah?
No, I agree. Yeah. Again,
Damn right.
she's lived through diversity. She's through adversity. She beat the man at his game. She did everything she could. She fought for herself. She's a very well spoken person. I 100% agree with you on her being in the top 3. I'd say for sure.
Wow. Number 1, Oprah. If you don't like her at number 1, you're an asshole. That's all I gotta say. Oprah, the best.
And I do like Robert Herjavec, right? So he is a software entrepreneur, and he actually owns a security software firm. But he's actually very prudent. I know people who have worked for his company, and they have nothing but good things to say about him. He's very, very prudent guy.
He's Canadian. Wow.
He is
No
Canadian.
wonder why he's so nice.
He's very frugal too. He doesn't like spending
He's
money
very
on.
frugal.
Yeah, very, very frugal.
He's the one shark. If I was on Shark Tank, I would go with Robert.
Yeah, but his Ferrari did catch on fire at a gas station just north of us the other year. Just so you know. I'm just saying.
We also saw Luca and Emmanuel running really fast afterwards.
We went to Drake's place.
Emmanuel and Luca were not filmed on they actually got their gas in America and drove it up there. Like those guys in Maine.
I think that's perfect. We end on that today, guys. We end on that. The
Yeah.
Canadian Mounties are going to be looking for you, Emmanuel, after the show. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the show. We had a good time. Hope you had a good time too. Remember, if you like the show, please rate, subscribe, review. We do this thing once a week. It was very fun. We'll talk to you next week. Peace out.